Well, greetings, everyone. I am sitting here across the table at 140 Manor with none other than Steve Katsikas, who is now our freshest member, Sona Sombra, after many, many years of knowing each other.
Yeah.
And so, Steve, how are you feeling, man? How was your drive from Louisville?
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
There was a lot of Indiana in the drive, I'll have to say.
I was going to say, I don't know how that's beautiful, but...
Well, you weren't listening to the music I was listening to on the drive.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
It was very nice. Yeah.
Excellent. So how are you feeling, man? Are you ready?
Feeling great, yeah. This is gonna be our first full band all getting together, running through the set. Very much looking forward to it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so for people who don't know, what have you done in the past other than being with us? You've been a very busy guy, so what would be the highlights of your career?
Wow. So I guess I'll start in the late 90s, early 2000s, where I founded a band called Little Atlas in Miami. And we released 4 albums, played a couple festivals, did a little touring. It was a great time, and then I ended up moving to Louisville for work, and we kept the band going for a while after that. And got to Louisville, and even though I was still doing that, I got pulled into this Pink Floyd recreation of Pink Floyd. I wouldn't have really thought about being in a cover band, except that's the one I wanted to do. So I played in that, and still play in that. We perform once a year. And I have an original band in Louisville called Grackle that has released 3 albums. We just released our newest one last year. So I keep busy with music. It is therapeutic for me. Keeps me sane. You take music away from me, I get really unpleasant. So it's like, I say it's self-care, but it's like probably good care for the people around me.
That's right. So, how do you feel about the work with Sona Sombra, and especially for the fans in the UK? How do you feel about heading out there to play?
I couldn't be happier. It's absolutely thrilling to fly across the pond, as they say, and I'll say too, to play music overseas. I love the Sona Sombra music, and Luis, you and I go back to 2004, where we met.
That's right.
At a festival, and it was an inaugural festival. It was the first time that it happened. Rozfest in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, right?
It was in fact in the theater where they shot The Blob.
The Blob, yes,
Yeah.
that's right. It's this old classic theater, and our bands, I think, were back to back. I think, as I recall.
Yes.
Yeah, and so, we were setting up backstage. You all were killing it at the front, or maybe it was the other way around. I can't recall. But I got to meet you, and that became just a long friendship. Sonus has come to my house, recorded drums there. We have shared a lot of, great times, good music, collaboration. I've done some tracking in the past for Sonus, and so when y'all were looking for a singer keyboard player, you knew who I am, and I was thrilling to get the call.
Yeah, well, you came to the show at Raji's,
Yeah.
and I had been thinking about you for a while, and I thought, look, I know this guy's busy. I'm just going to go ahead and ask him, because what's the worst thing he can say? No. Doesn't really change anything, but I hope he doesn't. So yeah. Well, we're very happy to have you. For people who may not know, this is the album that we collaborated on Whiteout.
Whiteout.
And it's an album that has had a little bit of a sticky path through the media.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, it received a little bit of rejection from Europeans who don't want to wait, especially at the beginning, before these last 9 months.
Yeah.
Didn't want to weigh in on what was happening.
Yeah.
But the world now is very, very different from the world when we released this record. Like, that record was meant to be a plea.
Yeah.
And yet, here we are.
Yeah. The plea was let's move in a different direction, wasn't it?
Yes.
And
no. But I was thrilled that you participated, and I'm very happy that we're able to make this record, even though I hope that now some of the people who have been a little bit reluctant will understand that it really is a very important choice. It's a choice about really having integrity and choosing not to feed a fascist regime, you know. So I'm very proud that we did this together before we were officially in the band. It was a no-brainer. And it's the first time that I actually asked you to work with us. Like, I was lucky that you asked me to do a couple of tracks for your solo record.
Right, yeah.
And I know you've been working with Andy Tillotson.
Yeah. And he's contributed some tracks to side projects. So.
That's pretty cool. So, now, how do you feel about the fact that we're going to be going, out of all places in the UK, we're going to Birmingham?
Yeah.
Sorry, for the English people, Birmingham. Birmingham. That's the birthplace of Black Sabbath.
I was gonna say, isn't that Aussie land and
that's Sabbath land?
Sabbath land.
Yeah.
Oh, that's badass. Yeah.
So, does that create any additional pressure for you, or nothing? You haven't thought about it?
I think it's more excitement than anything else. I don't know if I feel it as pressure, with the exception like I want to do really well. I want to just knock the songs out of the park. I feel like the other 6 guys in the band are looking at me like, you got this, and you need to be able to look back at it and say, you got it.
We got it. And anything you would like to say for the UK fans, for the people of Fusion, before we head out there?
If you don't know Sonus, start listening to the music, and if you listen to an album, you still don't know Sonus. There's the catalog zigs and zags, goes to some really unique places. It's hard to describe the music in a single paragraph because every album is really its own thing. And I'm really looking forward to the fact that we were playing tracks off lots of the albums. We're not focusing on one album. We're really bringing our discography to folks, and I think it's going to sound great. And I can't wait to meet people overseas and do this.
Fantastic. One last thing.
Yeah.
We are working on a new record.
Yeah.
And because you're our singer, you and I have had to have a lot of conversations about how to inhabit these songs in a way that makes sense for you as a vocalist, but also for me as the original composer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The album is called Liminality. Anything you would like to say to people about that record? That what to maybe expect, or how do you view the project? Like I think a lot of the times people, when they think of Sonus, they sort of think of me.
Mm-hmm.
But part of the reason why I want to have these conversations is to put them out there so that people get to know us as a band.
Yep.
And that we all bring very different things to the table, and it's that sum that makes the band happen.
Yeah.
Anything about the new album?
I mean, it's coming together as a band collaboration, and what I'm trying to do is get as close to inside of your head as I'm willing to go. It's a noisy, kind of zany place. But the album is really, actually, it represents some really serious and important questions that people can ask themselves, and that an important experience you've been through. And so as a singer, as a vocalist here, my job is not to sing the words of the song. Like, you can go find somebody, anybody could do that, and it'll sound sort of like it'll sound. My job is to really understand where they came from, and to really think about like each phrase, each paragraph, each stanza of that music, what it meant and where it came from, and then try to channel that in terms of how I'm approaching the music, channel it emotionally, and I expect to be exhausted at the end of the tracking process and really satisfied and proud. It's going to be special, and I'm really excited to be working on it.
Well, I mean, we all are, and for anybody who's getting to know you for the first time through Sonus, please check us out on the web. Links will appear after. And we're very excited to go to the UK. I have never performed in the UK myself.
Yeah, I haven't either. I've never been, so this will be my first time.
Wow, all right,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The only connection in Sonus history with the UK is that me and Jeff Laramie recorded part of Digging for Zeros in the UK.
Okay, all right.
We went to visit Pablo Garcia, Venezuela, who was getting his PhD at the time over there, and he was the keyboardist, and he was doing arrangements with me. So he recorded all his parts there, and then he did the tour where we met at Rossfest. And at the time it was the Spiritual Vertigo album that was out, and Digging for Zero was still being mixed, but yeah.
Full circle.
Full circle. That was in London.
Yeah.
Now we're going to a different part, but I am excited. I really hope this is the first of many times we get to travel there.
Yeah, excited.
And well, visit us on the web. You have the links, and stay tuned because over the next couple of days we're gonna throw up some Facebook Lives, and we're gonna be doing some interesting things.
Yeah.
All right.
See you in Birmingham.
All right. We also got some gigs coming up locally as warm-ups, and I hope we can also go play in your neck of the woods.
Working on it, yeah.
So yeah, there's gonna be some interesting things happening here in the States first, and then there's other things we can't talk about yet, but they're happening also.
Non-disclosure agreements, yeah.
Correct. All right, man. Peace.
You too.